So Gypsy Rose Blanchard posted this, and it reads, "Everyone knew my past when I was released, and y'all were shouting queen. And now, almost a year later, I'm being bullied and harassed nonstop. Accountability begins when you decide." Y'all, it seems like it's a clock and tea kind of day, so let's talk about it. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and this is directed towards you, ma'am. You said that everybody was praising you and calling you queen, and now, almost a year later, basically everybody's turned their backs. You did a podcast on Nick Viles, and you said this, and this was the beginning of when people realized you didn't take accountability and you are a problem. Furthermore, a lot of people did not know that you had a chromosome disorder. Nobody knew that. So a lot of what you were saying, people believed that your mom had Munchausen by proxy. And we found out later that she didn't. That's the difference. Your lies caught up with you. But let's watch this.
I don't associate myself as a murderer because if you think about it, yes, I had a part to play in it. I asked Nick
You
for
did
help.
what?
And how that conversation started was, he was saying that he would protect me from anyone. I said anyone. He said yes. I said even my mother. He said yes. And then the plan kind of formed from there. But he's the one that did the actual kill, not me. I can't kill anyone. That's why he's in trouble to begin with, because he's the one that did it. So when they say I'm a murderer, I don't identify as.
So she clearly stated that she doesn't identify as a murderer. Wasn't that the beginning of when we realized that she was a manipulator and she likes to manipulate words, specifically because that's what she did in this segment? After you did all of this, do you remember when you actually allegedly were in communication with inmates in prison that you went to Chillicothe with? And then it's alleged that you were also in communication with Nicholas GODEJOHN through someone else. And you actually ended up getting busted. And your parole was on to you. Do you remember that? Do you remember this happening with your friend? Let's watch this.
They need.
Fate will be decided tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully they need. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they should have to need. They should have to need proof. Like they can't just use a text. I feel like not even text message. They should have been like, I don't know. Somebody could have got hold of your phone. Like
Really, Brie?
I don't know, something like because people can use. There's like all kind of crazy phone apps and everything, girl. There's phone apps that can actually send you message that you can. Okay, so there's phone apps where you can type in. You can type in like your number. Say somebody can download this app, type in your phone number, and then send a text to someone, and it'll show that it's coming from your phone, even though it's not.
Wow.
Yes, that's why I feel like there's no way they can send you back to prison on this. Like, I would even bring up that, be like, I absolutely did never. Like, I would be like, I would lie. I would say absolutely didn't, and feel like there has to be a way that this text message was like falsified or whatever. I don't know. I would just fight for your life, girl, because there are ways. Yeah. That's the reason I feel like at the end of the day, like they would have to prove it because there are ways for people to do that. There are actual apps, girl, real apps that will show it's your phone number, even though it's not. Oh shit.
Could you imagine having a friend that's this special that would tell you that you can lie to the government and that they're not smart enough to subpoena your phone records to be able to see it? Because even though an app could do something, your phone records would say if it really was you or not. Could you imagine having people around you that lack, you know what I mean, to think that she would get away with this? And not only is she having someone around her like this, she's playing into it. How crazy is it? That is the type of accountability we're talking about. She is entangling herself with someone that would tell her to lie to her parole and tell her to basically trick these people into saying she didn't do it. Accountability would be saying, you know what, I did it, I wasn't supposed to, and I know that I'm supposed to go to prison for this or go back to the big house, but, I wasn't thinking I should have done better. That's what accountability looks like. Also, accountability is, yes, I did ask him to unalive my mom. Yes, I did buy the weapon. Yes, I did lie about my mom having Munchausen by proxy. Yes, I did lie that I didn't have any health concerns. I did lie and say that I didn't need the wheelchair at all. When I did need it, I just didn't need to use it as often. I embellished it. That's what accountability is. So when you're saying being bullied and harassed, people telling the truth about you online is bullying and harassment. Again, you find yourself the victim. You don't think that that's odd? I think it's quite odd, honestly. In my opinion, it's quite odd. But also, you did a live last week. And I thought it was a very interesting live. And I clipped part of it, and I would love for us to see it. Again, I'm just trying to show the trends from the time you came out to the middle of the year to current day to show the lack of accountability so you can realize that you are not the victim.
I want Ryan to move on. And this is like, I don't talk about Ryan in my lives because I don't want to. Like, I don't have to, I don't want to. I have lots of other things to talk about. So, yesterday when I came across this video, for the last, I want to say, couple weeks, Ryan has increasingly kind of gotten on my nerves. I mean, he was my husband. I can say that, okay? And we are still technically married. So, I think it's completely normal for people to go back and forth with each other in little tit-for-tat ways. Okay, we are not, I'm not going to say we're on bad terms, but we're not on good terms. We're just on terms. So, when I seen the video, I was not jealous. I am happy for him. If he wants to go
but you were upset.
Dance with a million girls, if he wants to go to a club, cool, I'm happy. I don't care. Like, I want him to find someone and I want him to be happy.
You don't.
But what I am disappointed in is society. So it was not even Ryan's video that kind of like
society
made me frustrated. It was society's view of the situation. So, and I understand that sexism and favoritism towards
Ma'am, that's how you got off your charges, because they were sexist.
Long as can be, okay? So, I just don't see how when a man does something, then it's praised. But when a woman does something, she gets slandered and, like, slammed for it. So, granted, I understand that I broke Ryan's heart. I left the marriage.
You cannot tell me that this is not a state of delusion. Like, you cannot tell me this. Because of the simple fact that she's saying, well, it's society. When a man does it, it's praised. And when a woman does it, it's not praised. Like, she left Ryan on March 23rd or 28th or something like that, right? That next weekend, she was with Ken. She said that following month, she went down to Pound Town and she got pregnant. All while she was married. But yet it's a problem for him to be out there having a good time. She calls that being praised. She's saying that everyone should have praised her when she left Ryan. But she was the one who was cheating since February. Like, ma'am, what are you talking about? And you talking about accountability? This is like more proof that there's a lack of accountability and you're not even willing to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't think anything's wrong with that, Gypsy? And your little friend, what's her name? Julie, the recap without the receipts, her, and basically endorses what you do. Bree over there co-signing on what you do with all her minions. So when she talks about accountability, these are things that we need to refresh her memory of. And she's done so much more, including defaming Ken and then saying that he was all good. Like, come on now. We know that she's not who she's trying to portray. And she constantly tries to basically say that we've let her down. And she takes zero accountability for her actions and what she's done since she's gotten out of prison. All she's done is defame her mom, defame Nick, not take any accountability, and dry beg on the internet. And want to become a creator without putting in the effort and use people. That's all she's done. This entire time, that's all she's done. But let her tell the story. We are all the problem. It's not her. Accountability, honey. You need to Google what accountability means. Considering I don't know if you'll Google this or not, accountability is the state of being held responsible for one's actions or for accomplishing a goal or an assignment. It is also referred to the willingness to be judged on performance. Accountability is the concept that has become more common in recent years and is relevant in many contexts, including ethics, the workplace, and leadership, and governance. It's Gypsy Rose Blanchard. That is what accountability is. So you might have wanted to Google it, just like you Googled cyberbullying.